Thank you, Agnieszka. It's a pleasure to be here. Let's start by looking at the anatomy first. So can we have a look at the screen here? Okay. So this is a very interesting anatomy per se. If you look at the coronal cuts, we have a coronal here, sagittal, and axial here. We have a nicely pneumatized frontal sinus. But as we go closer, you can see aganesi on the left side. There is some amount of pneumatization right at the superior aspect of the septum as well. And you can see a few air cells coming into view as well. So it's quite a complicated air cell. When you see an air cell before the middle turbinate appears, that's the aganesi. And you can see the pneumatization where the septum is, and there's some amount of septis inside the air cell as well, inside the frontal sinus as well. As we go back, you will find there's a marked deviation to the right side here. So this is quite an interesting anatomy because we have a lot of air cells. There's a marked deviation to the right side, the inferior turbinate on both sides. Let me come back anterior a little bit again. So let's look for the middle turbinate first. And again, you can see this is probably the middle turbinate. So what makes this unusual is that this is probably the uncinate process here, and you can see how pneumatized and abnormal the uncinate process before it gets adherent to the middle turbinate. It's almost as if the uncinate process here, this uncinate process, which is usually attached to either the orbit, or the lamina papacea, to the skull base, or the middle turbinate, is dilated or has got a very pneumatized and adherent to the middle turbinate here, thus occluding the access to the maxilla as well. And then also when you go backwards, you can see quite a few abnormal cells. That's on the left side. And if you go on the right side, that is the uncinate process, and you can see we have a large bulla on the right side as well. And this is the aganesi on the right side. So if we look at the danger areas, what do we look for? So we want to make sure where the anterior ethmoidal artery is. That's the anterior ethmoidal artery. It's like a nipple, and you can see how the protrusion and the artery is coming out. And you can see how the artery is coming out from the skull base, from the orbit at this region here. Right? So the area in front of this is the frontal recess and the frontal sinus as well. So usually we have a nice frontal beak. This is the frontal beak. So whenever you see the frontal beak missing, like this is a pneumatization of the frontal beak here, that means we are already entering into the ethmoids. So this is the landmark. We know when, from which level the frontal becomes ethmoid. When the frontal beak starts disappearing and you see air cells, aganesi, you know now you're going into the ethmoid sinuses. So again, let's look at the other important structures. The other one is the cribriform plate. There's a lateral lamella, crista galli, cribriform plate. And in this case, because the cribriform plate is quite low, you can see the lateral lamina almost vertical, and the fovea ethmoidalis is a bit lopsided as well here. So that's, you will find that the lateral lamella and the fovea is much more vertical on the left, whereas on the right is sloping more. Therefore, it's much more easier to cause a CSF leak injury on the right side compared to the left. Now, if you go backwards again, follow the middle turbinate, and you can see how the middle turbinate now turns upward here, forming the basal lamella. That's the basal lamella, and that's a superior turbinate coming into view. So the air cells in front of the basal lamella are the anterior ethmoids. There are multiple small air cells, whereas the air cells that is behind the lateral lamella, which is all medial to the superior turbinate, as you can see, are the posterior ethmoids, and they are much fewer in size, much fewer in number, but much larger in size as well. That's the left side. Let's look from the right side again. Again, you can see a huge bulla, and you can see the turbinate that is turning upwards here to form the ground lamella. There's the middle turbinate. It's probably forming the ground lamella here. The anterior ethmoids, that's the superior turbinate coming into view, the posterior ethmoids. And whenever you get lost in the sinuses, if you follow the orbit, it will take you all the way back to the sphenoid sinus. And here you would see the optic nerve, the carotid artery, that's the median. That's the V2. that's the median, and whatever pneumatization that you have will always come between the V2 and median. So you can see a little bit of slight pneumatization. But if you look at the sagittal cuts here now, let's start from the beginning again. So again, you can see the frontal beak. There is a very prominent pneumatization of the aga nasi here, as you can see. And you can see again how the uncinate process is sort of ballooned out, very pneumatized and compressing the frontal recess here with the aga nasi. There is a very large air cell from the ethmoid regions going upwards to the frontal region as well. And therefore, this is gate number 1, the uncinate process. Gate number 2, that is the bulla. That's the gate number 3, the ground lamella with the posterior ethmoids, and that's the gate number 4 into the sphenoid sinus. So with that anatomy, we can start our dissection. And this is not an easy case because the sinus anatomy is a bit complicated, but it will be a nice dissection, hopefully.